My beloved child, listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. You are not alone in the weight you have been carrying. I have watched you sit beneath the blue glow of late-night screens. I have counted the swallowed tears no one else saw. I have felt the tightness in your chest on Sunday evening, when the week began to lean toward you like a wave you feared would never stop breaking. I have seen you, faithful, diligent, hoping to honor me by pushing harder, staying later, saying yes because you believed that to say no would be to fail your calling. I do not condemn the love that made you willing to give so much. I know why you trusted endurance as proof that you belong to me. But hear me now. I am coming to take the weight that I did not put upon you. I still speak to you not through forceful noise, but through a gentle voice that does not crush you. As it is written, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. You thought your endurance was the seal of your faithfulness, but I am teaching you that peace is the seal of being led. Suffering, when yoked to my purpose, refines and bears life. Suffering that springs from fear, people-pleasing, and confusion drains and devours. Do not call every ache holy. Do not place every pressure upon the altar and name it obedience. As it is written, I desire mercy and not sacrifice. Hosea 6:6, Matthew 9:13. Your burnt-out offering does not please me. Your surrendered heart, guarded by my peace, does. Beloved, your work can be sacred. The diligence I formed in you can rise like worship when you do it with me and not apart from me. There is a gladness I intend for you, the quiet joy of a steward who knows they are not the source and not the Savior. But a precious garden must have a holy fence. Your soul was never meant to be consumed on the altar of other people's expectations, nor to be driven like an ox by the whip of false urgency. Therefore, I do not want you to live only by the feeling of a moment, nor by the tremor of incoming demands. I am teaching you to recognize me in your labor, and to refuse the yokes that do not carry my fingerprints. Hear me. I am not merely looking at your output, I am looking at your response. Will you respond to pressure or will you respond to my voice? When requests shout and deadlines accuse, will you bow to the loudest sound? Or will you return to the center where I wait with a word that does not change with the weather? As it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, this is the way, walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. And that word will not bind you to panic. It will lead you into steps that, even when costly, carry a witness of peace. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds. Philippians 4:7. That guard is not a luxury. It is evidence that I am leading. If peace cannot stand at the gate of a task, do not rush to enter it. Some of you have mistaken my cross for every load laid upon your shoulders. But understand the difference, my child. The cross I give you breaks chains. It does not forge them. The cross I give you crucifies pride and purifies motives. It does not grind down your identity until you forget you are my beloved. If you keep carrying what I never assigned, you will call it a cross, but it is a chain. And I have come to break chains, not decorate them. Where my spirit is, there is liberty, not chaos, not laziness, but holy freedom that moves you to say yes with strength and no with gentleness. 2 Corinthians 3:17. I have not asked you to serve the idol of productivity. I have not asked you to multiply proofs of your worth. I have asked you to walk with me. As it is written, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:29-30. If the yoke chafes your soul raw and leaves you loveless, you have linked yourself to a plow I did not build. Come out from under it, step back, breathe, and let me lay my hand upon your chest until your breathing slows and your sight clears. I do not blame you for loving deeply. A heart that knows how to love is not weakness, but I am teaching you to love within my order, which includes holy limits and spirit-led pacing. You have said, if I stop, will everything fall apart? Beloved, hear me. I am the one who holds all things together. Colossians 1:17. I do not need your exhaustion to prove your devotion. I ask for your trust to prove you are mine. Therefore, do not confuse adrenaline for anointing, nor applause for assignment. By their fruits you will know them. What does this pace produce in you? Clarity or confusion, purity or compromise, worship or resentment. Matthew 7:20, James 3:17. Test it, bring it into my light. I am not afraid of your calendars and quotas. I am Lord over days and seasons. I am not ashamed to say to you what perhaps no one else will. You may stop carrying what is not yours. You may put down the emotional debts others refuse to pay. You may honor me by guarding the hours I gave you as covenant, not currency to be traded for approval. Keep your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Even now I am loosening the knots of fear that taught you to say yes when you meant no, to accept what your spirit grieved, to confuse collapse with consecration. Feel my kindness in this correction. I am not scolding you, I am rescuing you. Begin here with me. Place your week in my hands. Speak it aloud if you must. Jesus, this is yours. Tell me where you dread, where you feel pinned, where you have been pretending it is fine. I will not only give you strength to endure, I will give you wisdom to choose. I will place peace like a sentinel at the gate of your decisions, and I will teach you to read the witness of that peace. Walk in peace, the peace of one who knows they are being led. This is the foundation. Your assignment can be holy, but burnout is not required. I am untangling what is obedience from what is bondage, and I am leading you into a steadier path. Take my hand. We begin now. Beloved, now listen closely. There is a sound in your world that confuses pressure with purpose, urgency with anointing, volume with voice, and I am coming to teach you the difference. Not every demand that rushes at you carries my authority. Not every countdown clock is my timing. Not every need that cries is your assignment to answer. Loud does not equal Lord. Intensity is not authority. I still lead you as I always have, by the witness of my spirit, by the light of my word, by peace that stands like a guard at the gate of your heart. Therefore, do not let panic draft you. Do not let flattery hire you. Do not let guilt conscript you. Ask first, test first, listen first. What is true in me is not afraid of your pause. As it is written, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Measure the voice by its fruit in you. Does it leave you in fear, or does it clothe you in power, love, and soundness? Ask yourself when the email blazes and the text blares and the meeting piles up, does this request bring clarity or confusion? Does it draw you closer to me or drag you farther from me? Does it steady you or scatter you? After you agree, are you brighter or bitter, settled or spun, clean or compromised? My voice may stretch you, but it will not strangulate you. It may refine you, but it will not erase you. It may call you higher, but it will not call you hollow. The wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits. James 3:17. Where are those fruits? There are counterfeit cues at work that have masqueraded as your conscience. Guilt-driven compliance that whispers, if you do not say yes, you are selfish. Fear of disappointing people that hisses, your worth depends on their smile. The need to prove your value that bargains, if you carry more than anyone else, they cannot question you. The addiction to being needed that flatters, without you, this all falls apart. The terror of being misunderstood that warns, if you set a boundary, they will name you unloving. These are not my shepherding. These are wolves in the language of duty. I do not rule you by guilt. I do not move you by terror. I do not secure your identity by overwork. I do not ask you to trade the cleanliness of your heart for the currency of human approval. Hear me. When those voices press, step back into me and say, "Speak, Lord." Let me answer them. Remember Samuel, beloved, who heard a call in the night and ran to Eli, for he had not yet learned the difference between a familiar authority and my voice. He ran 3 times before the elder perceived and taught him to answer me directly. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. 1 Samuel 3. Learn likewise. Do not run first to the nearest authority, to the loudest request, to the most visible urgency. Turn your face toward me and ask, "Is this you?" Remember Joshua, who looked at worn sandals and dry provisions, and signed a treaty with the Gibeonites because the story looked urgent and humble. Yet he did not ask counsel of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. Do not be deceived by performances of need. Do not be rushed by theatrics of crisis. Pause. Ask. Let time and prayer test the source. Consider Martha, beloved, busy with much serving, anxious and troubled about many things, while Mary sat at my feet and chose the one thing necessary. Luke 10:41-42. Your labor can be love, but when agitation replaces adoration, you have slipped from listening to managing me. And remember Elijah, who did not find me in the wind or the earthquake or the fire, but in the low whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. Loud does not equal Lord. My leading may come quietly, steadily, a word behind you saying, "This is the way." Do not follow the tremor in your nerves more than the truth in my presence. Therefore I will train you with simple questions that cut through fog. Ask them in the moment when your chest tightens and your fingers reach for an automatic yes. Do I sense my peace as a guard, or am I bargaining with dread? Is this invitation asking me to betray a boundary I set with me? Does this direction bear the fruit of righteousness in me, purity, mercy, steadiness, or the fruit of striving, envy, panic, resentment? Will obedience here increase worship in my work, or will it require me to swallow something that grieves my spirit? Are you, my child, choosing from love or from fear? Bring each question into my light, and you will feel the difference between the rush that drains and the call that gives life. I am not scolding you for caring. I am sanctifying how you care. I am not punishing your eagerness. I am purifying your agreement. I am not shaming your desire to be faithful. I am showing you that faithfulness begins with who you heed. I will not allow pressure to masquerade as me in your life any longer. I would rather you be slow with me than fast without me. I would rather you disappoint man than disobey the peace that I have placed as witness within you. Some will not understand this new steadiness. Some will interpret your pause as pride. Do not be terrorized by misunderstanding. As it is written, the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds. Philippians 4:7. Let the guard do its work even when others pound at the gate. You ask, but what if I miss an opportunity? Beloved, hear me. The opportunities I author are not allergic to prayer. What is from me is not afraid of being weighed. It clarifies under counsel. What is counterfeit decays under the light. Therefore, slow down. Say, I will consider and return with clarity. I am teaching you the holy art of delay, when delay is discernment. Nehemiah answered persistent invitations with a simple, clean refusal. I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Nehemiah 6:3. He did not rage. He did not justify. He guarded the great work by guarding his attention. I am placing that sentence in your mouth. Hear also this correction wrapped in my kindness. My call may press you beyond comfort, but it will never push you beyond grace. When I assign, I accompany. When I direct, I deliver supply. When I send, I strengthen. The counterfeit demands leave you payment due with no provision offered. They leave you heavy, hidden, and hollow. My directions lead to light in your eyes and integrity in your pace. You may arrive tired at times, but you will not arrive twisted. You may feel poured out, but you will not feel pawned off. You will know me there, and you will recognize my script: power, love, sound mind. So let us practice even now. Think of the last request that made your pulse rise. Place it in my hands. Ask me, what fruit does this bear in me? What spirit does it carry? Wait, breathe, watch what happens to your inner weather. I will show you how anxiety spikes and peace withdraws when manipulation speaks. I will show you how steadiness settles and courage rises when I speak. Then, beloved, answer from that place. If I lead you to yes, give it cleanly. If I lead you to no, refuse it peacefully. Your no, when born of my peace, is not rebellion. It is reverence for my order in you. You are not at the mercy of every voice anymore. You are mine, and I am teaching you to discern not by drama, not by noise, not by threats of loss, but by fruit, by peace, by alignment with my word. Walk in it now, firm and clean, light in your mouth, peace in your chest, and the quiet courage of one who knows the difference between pressure and purpose. Beloved, come close and listen to me in the quiet. I have given you a guard, peace not as a mood that visits and departs, but as a sentinel who stands at the gate of your heart day and night. As it is written, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. That peace is not decoration, that peace is jurisdiction. I stationed it there to approve what enters and to escort out what does not belong. If a task, a timeline, a tone, or a treaty must sneak past peace to gain entrance, it is not worthy to stay. If peace cannot stand beside you in it, you do not have to go into it. You have let anxiety sit where peace should sit. You have let fear hold the pen over your calendar as if fear were a wise planner. Fear of losing the job, so you say yes before you pray. Fear of being replaced, so you agree to what violates your limits. Fear of conflict, so you promise what you cannot deliver to avoid their frown. Fear of being called lazy, so you sprint where I asked you to step. Fear keeps editing your days, revising your sleep, stealing your Sabbath, and then presenting you with a schedule I never authored and a soul I never asked you to spend. I am not angry with you for this pattern. I am breaking it. I am not shaming you for how you survived. I am shepherding you into how you will now live. Learn the difference, my beloved child, between what I assign and what anxiety advertises. My leading may challenge you, but it will not contaminate you with constant dread. My voice may confront you, but it will not corrode your inner life. My word may press you to love harder and think clearer, but it will not hollow you out with the acid of perpetual panic. My leading settles you after the emotions fade. When I speak, a steadiness remains once the surge passes. When manipulation speaks, agitation remains once the moment passes. Does the weight you carry leave you feeling more awake to me or more absent from yourself? After the adrenaline drains, are you anchored or are you unraveling? My voice, like a good foundation, holds when the storm moves on. Therefore, here is a simple test I am placing in your hands to practice immediately. Call it the after the meeting test. When the call ends, when the meeting closes, when the email is sent and you have agreed or declined, pause and attend to your inner weather. Do you feel clean and steady or heavy and internally frantic? Do you sense your chest opening with relief and rightness? or tightening with dread and the urge to explain yourself to everyone? When it is of me, there is often a quiet resolve that does not need defending. When it is pressure in religious clothing, there is a compulsion to justify, to scramble, to rehearse conversations in the mirror of your mind. After the meeting, do you stand taller or do you shrink and begin bargaining with yourself? Let this test help you discern, because what is true in me is not afraid of being weighed. Another small practice for you, beloved. Begin your day by walking your calendar with me and with the guard I gave you. Lay out the hours like rooms in a house and invite peace to stand in each doorway. Watch what happens. In some rooms you will feel light and oxygen and a readiness that says, "Enter." In others you will feel the guard hold up a hand. Do not push past that hand. Ask, why? Sometimes the why is not now. Sometimes the why is not this scope. Sometimes the why is not your assignment. Sometimes the why is an invitation to renegotiate a timeline, to request support, to clarify expectations, to say a peaceful no or an honest, bounded yes. This is not evasion. This is stewardship. As it is written, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Let peace umpire. Let it call fair and foul, out and safe, in season and out of season. Yield to its rulings. I know the whispers that argue with this counsel. If I pause, I will be left behind. If I speak up, I will be marked difficult. If I protect my hours, they will think I am uncommitted. These whispers are not my shepherding. They are the familiar chorus of fear. Beloved, hear me. I do not sustain your life by panic. I sustain it by providence. I do not need you to run beyond grace to keep what I myself have given you. Opportunities I author are not fragile. They can bear the weight of prayer and the pace of wisdom. Relationships I bless are not allergic to boundaries. They strengthen under truth. Assignments I ordain do not require you to abandon the guard I placed. They cooperate with it. Consider how you have let anxiety approve entries on your calendar with its counterfeit stamps. Anxiety stamps urgent on what is not important. Anxiety stamps indispensable on what is not assigned to you. Anxiety stamps unloving on every boundary that protects your soul. Anxiety stamps lazy on rest that I commanded and rhythms that I designed for your longevity. Beloved, stop letting a liar serve as your scheduler. I am your Lord. My peace, not panic, is your gatekeeper. Trust the guard I installed. There will be moments when obedience looks like staying in a hard conversation or finishing a costly task. Do not confuse peace with perpetual comfort. But even in cost, you will notice this. Your conscience stays clean. Your motives stay simple. Your heart remains reachable. You are stretched but not split, poured out but not poisoned, tired but not tormented. And if, after the task, you feel sullied, spun, secretive, or small, return to the guard and ask what slipped past the gate. You will find that it was not only the work, but the why and the how, the fear beneath your yes, the flattery behind their request, the speed that silenced prayer. Let me wash you. Let me reset the gate. Therefore, practice this language with me until it lives in you. I will not commit at this moment. I will check and return. I can serve here within these hours. I cannot take that on, but here is what I can offer. That deadline is not sustainable. We must adjust the scope. Say it gently, say it cleanly, and let peace, not panic, approve your words. Nehemiah did not come down to argue. He simply stayed with his assignment because peace had approved it. I am putting the same clean steadiness in you. Bring me the specific fears. Name them. I fear being replaced. I fear losing income. I fear being called unspiritual. I fear being misunderstood. lay them at the feet of the Prince of Peace. I will answer each fear, not merely with comfort, but with strategy, wisdom in your mouth, clarity in your steps, favor with those who need to understand, courage when they do not. I will show you where to shore up your skills, where to build margin, where to ask counsel, where to adjust expectations. I will not only soothe your nerves, I will shepherd your days. Remember this, my beloved child, and keep it as a sentence you can speak aloud when the rush presses at your gate. Peace is not a luxury, it is a witness. If peace cannot guard me there, I do not have to enter. Let that witness stand, even when others do not understand. You are not refusing love, you are refusing disorder. You are not rejecting service, you are rejecting slavery. Walk now with the sentinel I gave you. Let peace examine every invitation, every interruption, every imagined emergency, and as you keep the gate with me, you will discover that your hours breathe again, your work becomes worship again, and your courage grows, not as a flare of adrenaline, but as the steady flame of one who knows they are being led. Beloved, stay near to me and feel my hand steady on your shoulder. I have placed peace as your guard, and now I am teaching you to build the fence that peace guards, a holy fence, not to make you hard, but to keep you whole. I do not blame you for caring. I formed your loyalty. I love your tenderness. Your willingness to go the second mile has often been a fragrance that pleased me. But hear me clearly. A gift without wisdom becomes a doorway for depletion. Love without limits turns into labor that leaks your life. Mercy without order invites wolves to feed at the table. I am not asking you to love less. I am teaching you to steward love so that it remains love. As it is written, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Your heart is a garden I planted, and a precious garden must have a holy fence. The fence is not a wall of suspicion. It is a gate of discernment. It is not to keep out every request. It is to number and name which requests bear my assignment. It is not to turn you cold. It is to make you governed. When you live fenced by my wisdom, your yes becomes cleaner and your no becomes peaceful. Your words cease to be frantic defenses and become simple, steady truth. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. Therefore listen while I define with you what may enter and what must remain outside. Inside the fence, welcome what I have assigned. Tasks aligned with the role we have agreed. Within the hours we have set, in a pace that preserves your integrity. Inside the fence, welcome clear expectations, honest timelines, compensated labor offered without hidden strings, collaboration that respects your humanity. Inside the fence, welcome feedback that refines without shaming, challenges that build skill without breaking spirit, responsibility that matches grace. Inside the fence, welcome agreed hours that end when they end, Sabbaths that remain Sabbath, rest that is not penance but obedience. Inside the fence, welcome those who speak truth in love, who honor process, who are willing to plan rather than push you into perpetual emergency. Outside the fence, let remain what devours. Outside the fence, keep emotional dumping that demands you be both worker and therapist on demand. Outside the fence, keep last-minute chaos others create and then call sacred urgency. Outside the fence, keep manipulation dressed as flattery. Only you can do this, and guilt dressed as duty. If you love us, you will say yes. Outside the fence, keep unpaid labor that is expected yet never acknowledged, tasks that belong to another role, the indefinite just this once that recurs like tide. Outside the fence, keep timelines that will not bend to truth, expectations that mock sleep, requests that ask you to betray the values we formed in secret. Outside the fence, keep unfiltered access to your off hours, the late-night pings that insist your belonging is on call. Outside the fence, keep any work that asks you to twist the truth, to cover what should be confessed, to carry storms that are not yours to calm. I know the protests that rise when you begin to build in this way, but if I do not absorb it, who will? If I draw a line, will they call me selfish? If I protect my hours, will I be replaced? Beloved, hear me. You are my child before you are anyone's employee. Your identity is not sponsored by a payroll. You do not earn belonging by overfunctioning. You do not purchase love with exhaustion. I am not your supervisor. I am your father. I did not hire you. I adopted you. Your place with me is not negotiable, and out of that unshakable belonging, I teach you to shape your boundaries. When your root is secure, your fence can stand even in the wind. Look to my patterns and learn. Moses tried to carry the people alone until wisdom arrived through Jethro. What you are doing is not good. You will surely wear yourselves out. Select able men. Let them judge the people at all times. Exodus 18:17-22. That counsel did not diminish Moses. It preserved him and multiplied justice. Learn likewise to delegate, to clarify, to say, this belongs there, not here. Remember Nehemiah, who not only refused to come down from the wall, but also ordered the gates to be shut to protect the Sabbath and set guards by name. Nehemiah 13:19, 7:3. Fences and gates are not fear, they are faithfulness. And see my son, Jesus, who withdrew to lonely places to pray, who left crowds with needs to move to the next town because he had clarity of assignment. Let us go on to the next towns, that I may preach there also, for that is why I came. Mark 1:38. Love incarnate practiced limits. Holiness rested. Mission walked away from applause when obedience required it. Therefore, do not call boundaries betrayal, call them worship. Boundaries are what love looks like when it grows wise. Boundaries are the rails that keep the train of your calling on its track. Boundaries let you pour out without puncturing your vessel. You will notice this transformation. You will not become suspicious. You will become selective. You will not become hardened. You will become whole. You will not become less generous. You will become more fruitful, because what you give will actually reach the assignment and not be sopped up by the sand of disorder. Ask yourself, in the moment when the old reflex surges, does this request ask me to betray the fence I am building with God? If it does, your no is holy. If it does not, your yes can be clean. And when you do say yes, say it within the fence, within hours, within scope, within grace. State the terms without apology. I can offer this by this date within these hours. When asked to move the ancient boundary stones of rest and truth, answer with my steadiness. I am doing a great work. I cannot come down. You are not rejecting people. You are rejecting confusion. You are not withholding love. You are refusing to let love be converted into fuel for someone else's disorder. I will help you draw these lines in practical ways. Together we will define office hours that you honor as covenant, not preference. Together we will craft an after-hours auto-response that is gentle and firm. Together we will build shared expectations with your team so that crisis ceases to be culture. Together we will map your weekly capacity and protect margins for rest and renewal. Together we will make a list of out-of-scope requests and the phrases by which you redirect them. Together we will choose one day each week where your devices rest before you do. I am not merely giving you big words. I am shepherding your small choices because your peace depends on structure, and I love your peace. Some will not understand. Some will test the gate. Some will call your fence a wall and your stewardship selfishness. Beloved, do not be surprised. When you stop supplying what was never yours to supply, those who fed on it will feel the lack. Do not answer accusation with explanation. Answer with consistency. Over time, your fruit will speak. Over time, your steadiness will preach a better sermon than your frantic availability ever could. As it is written, "By their fruits you shall know them." Matthew 7:20. The fruit of this fence will be clarity in your eyes, oxygen in your chest, integrity in your pace, and love that does not sour into resentment. And if you stumble and let something slip past the gate, do not condemn yourself. I do not condemn you. Return to me, and we will reset together. I am patiently training you. I am not grading you with a red pen. Each time you practice, your yes grows purer and your no grows kinder. Each time you honor the fence, your identity roots deeper. You remember you are not the source or the savior. You are my beloved steward. Keep your heart with all diligence, for it remains true. From it flow the issues of life. Guard the well, and the river of your work will run clear. Now take a breath and picture the fence again. Posts set in peace, rails joined by wisdom, a gate attended by my spirit. See me standing with you there. Feel the relief that rises when you know not everything may enter. Hear the quiet courage that forms when your yes is governed and your no is blessed. Walk in peace, the peace of one who knows they are being led, not into cold withdrawal, but into warm, ordered love. I am with you at the gate, beloved. Steward what I entrusted to you, and know this: boundaries do not prove you love less. They prove you have learned to love like me, with mercy, with truth, and with a holy fence. Beloved, come nearer and let me speak at the level beneath your muscles, where the ache has been hiding. You have guarded your calendar and raised a fence around your hours, and yet a quieter burden keeps crossing the threshold, unseen, unmeasured, and unnamed. You have been absorbing what is not yours. You have been taking into your chest the moods of leadership, drinking the team's anxiety like it were your duty, bracing your body to hold client panic, keeping open house for workplace gossip, swallowing unspoken expectations, hosting the fear that hums beneath the room. You have called it excellence. You have called it teamwork. You have called it servant-heartedness. I call it misassignment. I have not asked you to sponge every storm. Listen to me without shame. I formed your empathy, and I delight in your compassion. I do not rebuke the way you feel the temperature of a room. I gave you sensitivity so you could love wisely, not so you would live colonized by atmospheres I did not send. Therefore, learn the holy separation I am teaching you now. Compassion is not absorption. It is presence without possession. Empathy is not ownership. It is understanding without over-identification. Support is not self-sacrifice. It is help that honors the other's dignity to carry what is theirs. You may listen, but you must not host. You may stand with, but you must not stand in for what another must bring to me. You may serve with love, but you must not carry their inner storms as your responsibility. Consider what happens when you try to hold what I did not give. Your prayer life thins because your inner world is crowded with weather reports that never end. Your joy leaks because you keep translating every face into a forecast. Your body speaks in symptoms and you call it normal. Tightness in the chest, jaw locking at night, the endless hum behind your eyes, a fatigue that sleep cannot fix, the Sunday dread that arrives as a visitor you now call friend. You grow irritable in private and apologetic in public. You begin to narrate your days by other people's wins. Beloved, this is not maturity, this is drift. It is the slow dislocation of your soul from the center I gave you, and I am calling you home. As it is written, cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you. Psalm 55:22. And again, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. I am not asking you to be uncaring. I am inviting you to transfer the weight to the only shoulders that can actually hold it. Hear also this wisdom that keeps you from confusion. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. And in the same breath, each one shall bear his own load. Galatians 6:5. There is a difference between a fallen boulder and a personal backpack. Help with boulders. Do not confiscate backpacks. Do not confuse care with custody. Look at my son, your pattern. Crowds pressed him with panic, yet he was not carried away by their waves. He carried authority in their midst. A storm howled on the sea. He did not absorb the disciples' terror. He slept. Then he spoke to the wind and the water. Presence without absorption, authority without agitation. There were moments when he withdrew to pray, though needs remained, because he would not allow the river of compassion to become a flood of confusion. He loved them, healed them, taught them, and he did not entrust himself to the volatility of the crowd. John 2:24. Follow him here. Walk as one who is present, not porous, kind, not carried. Therefore, I am giving you a simple practice. Call it the threshold prayer. Before you enter the building, before you open the laptop, before you step into the meeting, pause with me and pray out loud, if you can, in a voice that steadies you. I release what is not mine. I receive only what you assign. I will not carry a burden you did not give. Say it again until your shoulders lower. Imagine your hands opening. Picture me standing with you at the gate of your heart, and see the guard of peace nodding as we let go what does not belong. Then add this: Jesus, I cast my burdens upon you, and I cast theirs upon you too. Sustain us all. As it is written, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. Exchange the counterfeit yoke of emotional control for the yoke of companionship with me. I am also placing words in your mouth for moments when absorption tries to masquerade as kindness. Practice saying gently and cleanly, I can listen for 15 minutes and then I need to point you to the right place for support. I hear the urgency. Let's convert this fear into a clear request. That sounds important. Please put it in writing so we can route it properly. I care about this and cannot hold it alone. I cannot host gossip. If you need resolution, let's involve the person directly. I'm not the right container for this. Here is the process that will help. These are not refusals of love. They are refusals to become a reservoir for what must be brought to light. You ask, but if I do not absorb it, won't the room get worse? Hear me. When you stop absorbing, you stop enabling. When you stop taking in everyone's storm, you make room for clarity to name itself. You invite the Spirit to convict where conviction is needed and to comfort where comfort belongs. You also free your body to serve you again. Watch what happens as you practice. Your breathing deepens in meetings that once stole your air. Your focus sharpens because your mind is not occupied with quiet caretaking of unspoken dread. Your evenings return to you because you are not replaying everyone's pain as a homework assignment. Your sleep begins to obey peace. This is not fantasy. This is fruit. If you find yourself saturated after you forget, do not scold yourself. Stop, wash your hands with water, and pray as you watch it run. I release it now to you, Lord. Step outside, turn your face to the sky, inhale slowly 4 counts, exhale 6, and speak my name. Shake the dust off your feet, not in contempt for people, but in refusal to carry residue that is not your calling. As it is written, if any place will not receive you, shake off the dust that is on your feet. Mark 6:11. You are not dismissing souls. You are dismissing a film of fear that tries to cling to you. Return to the guard at the gate. Reset the fence with me. Remember, beloved, I am not training you to be indifferent. I am training you to be effective. Your presence will become lighter and stronger at once. Light because you are not weighted with secret storms. Strong because you stand in what I am actually doing. You will carry intercession, not obsession. Compassion, not compulsion. Wisdom, not weather. People will feel safer around you precisely because you are no longer invisible as an emotional sponge. You will be visible as a steadying person who points them to me and to right process. Take my words as covenant today. Begin and end your work with the threshold prayer. When you feel the room surge, put your hand briefly over your chest and whisper, "Peace, guard the gate. Lord, I release what is not mine." When a colleague arrives as a storm, listen with love and then redirect with truth. When leadership's mood swings, honor what is yours to do and lay the atmosphere at my feet. Cast your burdens, cast theirs too. As it is written, cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you. Psalm 55:22. Sustainment is my part, stewardship is yours. Walk now in the relief of this holy separation. I am with you, beloved child. I am untying weights you thought were normal. Serve with love, but do not carry what I did not assign. And as you obey me here, you will discover a guarded peace returning to your chest. Clean air, clear light, steady courage. You will work as one led, not as one leaking. Beloved, draw near and let me place my hand upon your chest again. You have learned to release what is not yours, to fence what I have entrusted, to let peace stand guard. Now I will teach you how to pray when pressure swells like a tyrant and your hours feel seized. You have prayed to survive. I honor those cries. I have counted every tear, but I am now training your prayers to move beyond escape into discernment, beyond panic into strategy, beyond raw endurance into clean courage. Do not only pray to get out, pray to hear me so clearly that you can obey without being crushed. Remember Israel in Egypt, how demands multiplied while provision shrank, bricks without straw, quotas without mercy, punishments for honest limitation. That pattern still appears in workplaces where pressure is enthroned and fear is policy. When demands increase without provision, when truth is punished and exhaustion is praised, you are witnessing an old script, a Pharaoh spirit that seeks to drive rather than lead. My yoke is not like this. My yoke is easy and my burden is light, not because the work is small, but because the assignment is clean and the source is with you. As it is written, come to me and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:28-30. Therefore, pray not as a slave gasping for air, but as a child receiving counsel from a father who parts seas and also writes schedules. I will teach you to pray in layers, each one a plank in the arc of your day. First, ask me for daily bread, capacity for today, not tomorrow's anxieties crowded into your chest. Pray, Father, give me today the focus, strength, and clarity for what you have truly assigned. Keep tomorrow in your hands. Ask for the physical graces of stewardship, sleep that restores, breath that steadies, food that sustains without numbing, pacing that protects your integrity. Your body is not your enemy. It is the instrument of obedience, and I care for it. As it is written, give us this day our daily bread. Matthew 6:11. Second, ask for wisdom and ask boldly. Do not sift through shadows when you can inquire of me directly. Pray, show me what is mine to do and what is not. Distinguish boulders from backpacks. Reveal the difference between urgent noise and holy necessity. I am not stingy with clarity. I delight to give it. As it is written, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. James 1:5. Let this asking be honest and single-hearted. Refuse the swirl of double-mindedness that says yes to me and yes to fear in the same breath. As it is written, he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. James 1:6. Ask counsel of me. Do not repeat Joshua's error of believing a polished story without inquiring of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. Third, ask for favor, the kind that opens clean doors and closes polluted ones. Pray, establish the work of my hands. Let me be seen by the right eyes at the right moment. Give me favor that does not require self-betrayal. I give favor that places Joseph in right rooms without compromising his truth, that grants Daniel space to live by conviction without bowing to pressure, that clothes Esther with courage and grace before a king. As it is written, let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands. Psalm 90:17. And again, so you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man. Proverbs 3:4. Favor is not flattery, it is alignment. Fourth, ask for timing, for even pure words can wound when delivered out of season. Pray, Lamp of God, light my next step, not my fantasies of 5 years hence. Teach me when to speak and when to wait. I will give you the moment that carries weight, not heat. The pause that saves, not delays. The sentence that unlocks, not provokes. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105, and a word in season, how good it is. Proverbs 15:23, and a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Ecclesiastes 3:7. Fifth, ask for restraint, the holy bridle of the tongue and the governance of emotion under pressure. Pray, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Make me quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. I will teach you to carry light in your mouth and peace in your chest, so that even in conflict your spirit remains clean. As it is written, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Psalm 141:3. And let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. James 1:19. As you pray in these layers, bring your situation to me with scripture-lit clarity. Name the Pharaoh pattern without rage or self-pity. Lord, I see bricks without straw. I see punishment for truth-telling. I see quotas raised while rest is mocked. This is not your yoke. Lead me in the way I should go. Then listen. I may stretch out my hand to shift a system, turning hearts like streams of water, making leaders receptive, providing resources where there was none. As it is written, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he wishes. Proverbs 21:1. Or I may instruct you to plant firmer boundaries within the same field, to codify hours, to insist on process, to redirect chaos to its owner, to document what truth requires. Or I may send you Jethro-like counsel that rearranges work into bearable portions. Or I may open a transfer, a new role, a quiet exit in peace. Deliverance is not always a sea splitting with drama. Sometimes it is a calendar divided with wisdom, a meeting held with integrity, a holy no spoken with a steady gaze. I am Lord of both the spectacular and the ordinary. Pray also for a clean heart in the midst of pressure, for wisdom untethered from bitterness. Pray, create in me a clean heart, O God. Renew a right spirit within me. Uproot contempt. Replace it with courage. Bless those who have used pressure as policy. Free me from rehearsing injury. Teach me to intercede, not accuse. As it is written, create in me a clean heart, O God. Psalm 51:10. And see to it that no root of bitterness springs up. Hebrews 12:15. And bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Romans 12:14. This cleanliness does not make you passive. It makes you clear. You can be firm without venom when your motives are washed. In real time, when a meeting surges like a tide, pray under your breath. Peace, guard the gate. Spirit, give me the sentence that belongs to you, and wait half a breath longer than your fear wants. I will give you speech at the hour you require it. As it is written, the Holy Spirit will teach you in that very hour what you ought to say. Luke 12:12. And when silence is asked of you, let it be an instrument, not an abdication, the pause that exposes manipulation by its own echo, the stillness that keeps you aligned with me rather than entangled in a net of words. Bring your leaders into prayer not as giants to topple, but as souls who also answer to me. Pray, Father, grant them wisdom, mercy, rest, and right fear of you. Let justice and clarity become culture. This is intercession, not people-pleasing. As it is written, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions be made for all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life. 1 Timothy 2:1-2. But do not confuse praying for them with surrendering your fence to them. Intercede while you steward. And when you sense that I am moving you, do not sanctify delay by calling it loyalty. Pray, order my steps and make the path plain. If I am to remain, fortify and structure me. If I am to move, open a door that no one can shut, and shut what no one can open. I am able to preserve like Daniel in a den, promote like Joseph in a prison, reposition like Paul in a basket lowered at night, and deliver like Israel at dawn. The forms differ, the faithfulness does not. As it is written, he opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. Revelation 3:7. Let me also teach you a simple diagnostic in prayer when the room feels like Pharaoh. Ask, does this demand remove straw, yet require the same bricks? Does it punish me for truth, yet applaud me for silence? Does it replace trust with threat? If so, do not sign your peace away. Pray for wisdom, then answer with structure, documentation, and peaceful refusal where needed. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let each matter be established. Seek the counsel of the wise. Refuse to be cornered into hurried vows. As it is written, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. And by wise counsel you will wage your own war. Proverbs 24:6. And by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. 2 Corinthians 13:1. I am not merely pulling you from fires. I am teaching you to build with stones that do not burn. Your prayers will mature from get me out to lead me through to form me into a person who cannot be driven by fear. You will find that as you ask for wisdom, favor, timing, restraint, and daily bread, the atmosphere within you becomes uncolonized. And even if the room rages, you carry an island of government that is mine. Walk forward now with this prayer strategy as your staff. Soon I will teach you what to refuse with peace, and your no will be an instrument of obedience, not a flare of self-defense. For now, kneel your heart, lift your face, and ask boldly, I am with you. I am counsel at your right hand. I am the lamp beneath your feet. And as you pray to hear me, you will obey without being crushed, because I will lead you not with a whip, but with my peace. Beloved, draw close and listen to me in the quiet place where decisions are born. You have learned to ask for wisdom when the room feels like Pharaoh. Now I will teach you the holy no, for a peaceful refusal can be a higher form of obedience than a fearful yes. I am looking for you to respond to pressure with obedience, not reflex. To answer manipulation with peace, not panic. To let discernment speak with a clean, brief, steady voice that does not quarrel or explain itself into exhaustion. As it is written, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. Simple, clean, and guarded by peace. Understand this. A holy no is not defiance for its own sake. It is devotion to the assignment I actually gave you. It is not a flare of self-protection. It is stewardship of the garden I entrusted to you. It is not a punishment of others. It is a refusal to betray me by abandoning the fence we built together. My beloved child, I do not blame you for the years you mistook panic for purpose and guilt for guidance. I am patiently training you now. Your no will be an altar where I am honored, because you will refuse what I never assigned, and thereby keep your spirit clean. Remember Nehemiah, building a wall in the face of mockery and invitation alike. Sanballat and Geshem sent word, "Come, let us meet," and Nehemiah answered, "I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you?" He refused not with rage, but with focus, and when they sent to him 4 times, he answered in the same manner, brief, calm, consistent. As it is written, "I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down." Nehemiah 6:3. And again, "They sent to me 4 times in this way, and I answered them in the same manner." Nehemiah 6:4. Learn this cadence. Do not descend from your assignment to bargain with distraction. Here is the framework I am giving you. Receive it as a tool, not a weapon. Let your no be brief. 1 or 2 clean sentences is enough. Let it be calm, no edge, no heat, peace in your chest and light in your mouth. Let it be consistent. Do not change the message because someone repeats the pressure or attaches a frown. No over-explaining. Explanations multiply guilt. No bargaining with guilt. Guilt is not your counselor. No apologizing for righteous stewardship. Apology belongs to wrong, not to wisdom. State the boundary, point to right process if one exists, and stop. This is your pattern. State, point, stop. The guard at the gate, my peace, will hold the line with you. As it is written, the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds. Philippians 4:7. Therefore, practice refusal in real matters where your spirit gets tangled. Last-minute tasks that violate prior commitments. I won't be able to take this on today. My current commitments are already allocated. If this is still needed, let's schedule it for the first available window. Let the sentence stand. If the pressure repeats, repeat your sentence unchanged, with peace. Disrespect disguised as urgency. I'm available to discuss solutions. I'm not available for disrespect. When we can speak constructively, I'm ready. You are not punishing. You are refusing to baptize chaos with your attention. Constant after-hours access that colonizes your nights and trains your body to flinch at every buzz. I'm offline after 6 p.m. I will respond during business hours. If you must, set the structure around it. Disable notifications. Create an auto-reply. Document expectations. Do not apologize for sleeping, for praying, for being a human I made. Roles you never agreed to, quietly added to your name because you were willing and others were relieved. That function is not within my role. Here is who owns it. I'm happy to connect you. If they say, but you always handle it, answer, I did for a season. To honor my assigned work, I cannot continue. Please route it appropriately. Be kind, be immovable. Being the emotional sponge in every conflict, the unofficial therapist, the air filter for other people's storms. I can't host this. If resolution is needed, let's involve the right people or the process designed for it. Or, I can listen for 15 minutes and then I will direct you to the right support. These phrases are not refusals of love. They are refusals to make yourself a reservoir for what must be brought to me and, where appropriate, to right channels. You fear, if I say no, will I be abandoned? Will doors close? Hear me. I will not abandon you when you set a boundary in obedience. I will stand behind your clean, no even if people test it. When your refusal is rooted in stewardship, I am your rear guard. As it is written, The Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard. Isaiah 52:12. If your boundary provokes accusation, I will give you favor with those who value clarity. If it exposes unhealthy patterns, you are witnessing mercy at work, not failure. My child, I cover those who refuse in order to remain faithful. How will you know when to refuse with peace? Ask these questions in my presence. Does this demand trespass the fence we built, requiring you to betray prior commitments without righteous cause? Does it punish truth-telling and reward silence? Does it come like a thief? Late, loud, bypassing process, borrowing my name while extracting your peace? Does it require you to absorb what is not yours or to agree to work without straw? If so, you are free to refuse. As it is written of the Gibeonite trap, they did not ask counsel of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. You will not repeat that error. Ask counsel, then answer with structure and calm. When you deliver your holy no, do not decorate it with resentment. Remove heat. Keep light. Say, no, thank you, or I'm unable to take that on, or that timeline is not possible with current resources. Here is a feasible option, or I'm not available for this conversation right now. Let's revisit at X time. Resist the urge to draft a courtroom argument. Truth does not panic. What is from me is not afraid of time, not afraid of quiet, not afraid to be repeated without embroidery. And if someone attempts to escalate, attaching urgency, shame, or flattery, let your response remain in the same manner, 4 times if necessary, like my servant Nehemiah. Consistency is the sermon that manipulative pressure cannot preach against. Some will test your fence not because they are evil, but because patterns have trained them to expect your immediate compliance. Therefore, codify your boundary and structure where you can. Office hours posted, shared calendars protected, agreements documented, processes invoked. This is not pettiness, it is humility that admits you are dust and need form. As it is written, let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. And if a matter requires witnesses, bring them not as weapons, but as light. As it is written, by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. 2 Corinthians 13:1. Structure supports your peace. Peace guards your speech. Do not call yourself unloving because you could not come down from the wall. You are doing a great work, guarding your soul, honoring your assignment, keeping your word to me. Boundaries do not mean you love less. They mean you are not for sale. When you refuse what I did not assign, you make room for the yes that carries life. You will find that your best work rises, your joy reappears, your prayer gains weight, your sleep remembers how to rest. You will also find that your yes, when given, has authority in it, because it is no longer contaminated by fear. Therefore, beloved, practice the holy no today. Before you answer, pause 1 breath longer than your fear wants. Place your hand over your chest and whisper, peace, guard the gate. Lord, what is mine? Then speak the brief truth and stop. If they press, repeat it with the same calm tone. If they accuse, refuse to take the bait. Do not descend to argue in the valley of Ono. If they honor it, give thanks and continue the work. As it is written, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Your no is a gate that keeps life within its banks. I am teaching you to be firm and clean. Light in your mouth, peace in your chest. Say yes where I send you. Say no where I have not. Walk the floor of your calling like Nehemiah on his wall. Eyes steady, hands strong, heart untroubled by every trumpet blown to distract. You are not driven, you are led. And as you learn this refusal, I will prune assignments, align teams, and establish rhythms that honor how I made you. Go on now in guarded peace. When pressure knocks, answer with obedience, not reflex. When manipulation calls, reply with the sentence peace approves. I am with you. I am the one who keeps you from descending. I am the guard at your gate, and I am pleased with your holy no. Beloved, lean close and let me touch the place beneath your practiced strength. You have begun to say the holy no with peace. Now I will put my hand upon the root that made constant yes feel like safety. I know why you became so responsible. I know you learned early that to be low maintenance was to be loved, that to be the dependable one was to avoid trouble, that to anticipate every need was to prevent abandonment. I do not condemn you for this learning. I have seen the rooms that trained you. My beloved child, I am not angry at your coping. I am healing your roots. There is a name people gave you that felt like honor, responsible, reliable, the one who always comes through, and yet beneath it, anxiety rented a room. You traded rest for approval. You traded health for praise. You traded time with me for the feeling of being indispensable. These trades seemed small in the moment, but they formed a covenant with exhaustion and called it righteousness. Hear me. I do not require you to burn in order to be bright. I am not looking for spectacle. I am forming steadiness. The cross that saved you has already carried the bleeding. You do not need to bleed to be valuable. Therefore, let us test motives as one who walks in the light. When pressure asks for your yes, ask me 3 simple questions. Am I about to serve from love or from fear? From generosity or from self-protection? From assignment or from anxiety? If your yes is fueled by fear, it is not servanthood, it is bondage in spiritual clothing. As it is written, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Galatians 1:10. Servanthood answers me. People-pleasing bargains with crowds. Servanthood is rooted in peace. People-pleasing is powered by panic. Servanthood bears fruit that remains. People-pleasing produces resentment, leakage, and a tiredness that prayer cannot wash because it was never assigned. Remember Saul, who spared what I told him to surrender and then clothed disobedience with sacrifice. He confessed the root. I feared the people and obeyed their voice. 1 Samuel 15:24. Fear of man disguised itself as responsibility to the people, but it cut him from my instruction. As it is written, the fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Proverbs 29:25. Do you see the snare? It is the trap that promises security if you will only keep saying yes. Your peace, your sleep, your presence with me bartered away to maintain an image of reliability. Remember Martha, burdened with much serving, angry at her sister's stillness, while Mary sat at my feet. I did not shame Martha for serving. I corrected her stormed motives. Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion. Luke 10:41-42. There is a serving that is pure and light, because it flows from presence. There is a serving that is heavy and hot, because it flows from anxiety. I am not asking you to abandon service. I am inviting you to purify it at the root. As it is written, perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4:18. I will cast fear out of your yes. I will teach you to do whatever you do, heartily, as for the Lord, and not for men. Colossians 3:23. And when I teach you this, your excellence will rise, but the engine will change. You will move from being driven to being led. Your inner courtroom will close. Your motives will be washed. You will be dependable because you are assigned, not because you are afraid. You will be responsible to me, not responsible for everyone. Let us speak plainly about the trades you have been making. When you choose the glow of applause over the boundary of hours, You buy approval with your rest. When you remain the on-call rescuer so that no one is disappointed, you purchase a fragile peace with your health. When you overfunction so teams can underfunction, you pay the bill with my time in the morning and your clarity in the afternoon. These economies are not my kingdom. In my kingdom, peace is the currency, and structure is the bank. In my kingdom, the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable. James 3:17. Ask yourself, does this yes make the garden within more peaceable, or does it scatter leaves with a restless wind? I am not asking you to become hard. I am teaching you to walk in truth. Truth says, I am already loved. Truth says, I do not need to audition for worth. Truth says, my value was established by blood, not extracted by burnout. As it is written, you were bought with a price. 1 Corinthians 6:20. Therefore, beloved, your worth is not on the auction block of other people's approval. You may serve with joy because you are safe in my love, not to become safe by earning applause. Let this sentence settle into your bones. You do not need to be needed to be necessary. How then shall you practice this freedom in real time? First, pause before yes and listen for the guard at the gate, my peace. If peace stands at attention, opening the gate with a nod, proceed. If peace raises its hand, delay or decline. Second, name the motive aloud in my presence. Father, I am tempted to say yes because I am afraid of disapproval, or I want to say yes because I genuinely love and am assigned. Truth spoken to me breaks the spell of compulsion. Third, consecrate your reputation. I give you the name reliable one others have used. Reshape it to mean faithful to your assignment, not available to all demands. Fourth, renounce the internal vow that has silently ruled you. I renounce the belief that I must be indispensable to be safe. I receive the truth that I am held because you are faithful. Do not be surprised when, as you shift motives, I prune roles that fed your old economy. Some invitations will cease when you stop paying with fear. Do not call this rejection, call it mercy. As it is written, some departures are answers, some empty spaces are mercy. I am removing tasks attached to an identity I never signed. I am making room for assignments that fit your measure of grace. And as you change, I will teach others how to relate to you. Some will resist, some will rejoice. Some will reveal their dependence on your overfunctioning. Receive all this information as light, not accusation. Walk in peace. Let peace inform your structure. Understand also, beloved, that true servanthood often looks like what I modeled in my son. He washed feet, yes, and he also withdrew to pray, rose early to be alone, left crowds when the Father's timing said, move on, and refused to perform at demand. As it is written, rising very early, he departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed. Let us go on to the next towns, for that is why I came. Mark 1:35-38. This is clean obedience, not people-pleasing. It is love with a holy fence around it. Now hear my charge with tenderness and weight. If your yes is fueled by fear, do not call it love. If your diligence is driven by dread, do not crown it as virtue. If your availability is a hedge against abandonment, bring it to me for healing. As it is written, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. I am giving you back your sound mind. I am placing power and love where panic once sat. Your service will become lighter, not because you do less that is truly yours, but because you stop doing what never belonged to you. Therefore, beloved child, come out from the trap called responsible, when it is only fear wearing a suit of virtue. Return to your center, place your hand upon your heart, and say, I am already loved. I do not audition for worth. Peace guard the gate. Lord, what is mine? Then answer requests accordingly, some with a joyful yes, some with a peaceful no, all with a clean spirit. Where you must make amends for yeses given from fear, I will give you words and favor. Where you must restructure to keep from slipping back, I will supply wisdom and allies. As it is written, for the praise of men, they loved more than the praise of God. John 12:43. But you, beloved, will love my praise more than applause, and in that love you will be free. Walk now with the courage of one who is already chosen. Serve as one led, not driven. Let your reputation be faithful to God, not available to everything. I am with you as you unlearn the bondage of people-pleasing and learn again the majesty of clean servanthood. My peace will witness to your motives. My love will steady your boundaries. My wisdom will teach you when to pour and when to pause. You are mine. You are enough in my sight. From this place your work will become holy without becoming a cross I did not ask you to carry. Beloved, lean close and listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. You have begun to refuse with peace what I did not assign, and you have set your hand to build with clarity. Now hear this with the same tenderness and wait. When I close a door, when I remove a role, when I let a title slip from your name or a stage dim its lights, I am not punishing you. I am pruning you. I am taking from you what was silently chaining you, so that what I planted in you may breathe. As it is written, every branch that bears fruit he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Abide in me, and I in you. John 15:2-4. Do not mistake my shears for wrath. Call them mercy. You have called many things loss that were actually rescue. The demotion that forced you to sleep again. The rejection that exposed a room you never belonged in. The tension that surfaced a misalignment no charm could fix. The exposure that brought a hidden rot into daylight where it could be cleansed. Do not call me absent in these things. I was standing at the gate with peace in my hand and a holy fence in my mind, saying, not here, not like this, not anymore. I am jealous for the purity of your assignment and the brightness of your lamp. I will not allow an image of success to erode the substance of your soul. Consider Joseph, my beloved servant. He dreamed with me and then was plunged into pits and prisons that looked like delay and defeat. Yet each lowering was placement. Each apparent loss trained a wisdom that palaces require and taught him to steward abundance without becoming its slave. In the hidden places he learned fidelity to me that no applause could counterfeit, and when the door opened, it was time, not panic, that ushered him through. As it is written, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50:20. What looks like subtraction can be my arithmetic of increase, holiness added by pride removed, authority added by ego reduced, endurance added by false hopes cut away. Remember Moses, once a prince in the house of Pharaoh, then a shepherd in a wilderness that felt like obscurity. There, among ordinary days and unglamorous faithfulness, he met a flame that did not consume and heard me call his name. As it is written, now Moses was keeping the flock, and the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire. Exodus 3:1-2. The long silence was not abandonment, it was preparation. The staff he carried was not a demotion. It was rehearsal for a serpent subdued and a sea divided. I hid him to heal him, I pruned him to send him. What I do in your unseen seasons is not small. It is soil for futures you cannot yet hold. Remember Esther, placed behind doors she did not open, crowned in a court she did not seek, positioned through a sequence that would make many hearts question. Yet the pressure, the fasting, the strategic delays and brave approaches all converged into a saving word for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Preparation often looks like delay because I align not only moments, but motives, not only events, but hearts. I am never wasteful. With me, waiting is not emptiness, it is arrangement. As it is written, He makes everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Therefore, beloved child, when a door shuts and you feel the ache ricochet through your bones, do not rush to call yourself rejected. Ask instead, what was this role demanding from my soul? What did this environment require me to compromise? What expectation kept me in a perpetual emergency so that my peace could never stand guard? If a thing must feed on your clarity to survive, it cannot be your calling. If a place trains you to betray your holy fence to belong, it cannot be your home. I remove such things not to starve you, but to restore you. As it is written, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He restores my soul. Psalm 23:1-3. You fear, if I let go, will there be anything left? If I release this identity, will I vanish? Hear me. When you release what is killing your peace, you make room for what can sustain your calling. I am not taking from you to leave you barren. I am clearing room for fruit that remains. Abide in me, and I will teach your roots to drink again. As it is written, by their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:20. Peace, purity, steadiness, and love that does not fray at the edges. These are the fruits I am guarding in you. Doors that devour them must close. At times I will prune by exposure, and I know exposure stings. But better the sting of a clean cut than the slow rot of a hidden mold. When I expose an unsafe pattern, a manipulative structure, a treadmill that masquerades as mission, I am not embarrassing you. I am emancipating you. As it is written, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. John 8:32. Freedom may first feel like loss because bonds disguised themselves as belonging, but stay a little longer with me, and you will feel air where there was constriction, light where there was fog, quiet where there was a constant alarm. Therefore, do not argue with closed doors. Mourn if you must, and mourn with me. Name the grief and hand me the keys you no longer need. Then turn toward abiding. Abiding is not passivity, it is rooted obedience. Abiding is pruning's partner. Sit with me in the early hours and let peace return to the center. Walk with me into the next small, faithful step. Bless the room you leave and do not keep a secret leash tied to its doorknob. I am your portion. I am your map. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. I will also prune expectations that you or others have placed upon you, the constant heroism, the unending availability, the sprint that never becomes a Sabbath. Roles that demand your soul will either soften under my hand or be removed from your grip. Environments that erode your integrity will either change as you stand or change by your leaving. Pressure that impersonates purpose will be unmasked. This is mercy. Some departures are answers. Some empty spaces are mercy. When that happens, do not scramble to refill the silence with any noise that knocks. Let the holy fence stand and let peace keep the gate. Ask me to interpret your losses. In prayer say, Father, show me what you are freeing me from. Show me what you are freeing me for. I will answer with wisdom. Sometimes I prune workload to restore marriage and friendship. Sometimes I prune platform to restore prayer. Sometimes I prune team to restore trust. Sometimes I prune self-importance to restore joy. As it is written, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. Hebrews 12:11. The fruit is coming, peaceful, not frantic, clean, not performative. I know you have stories of doors that slammed and left you stunned in the hallway, Beloved, I met you there, even if you did not feel me. I stood with you when the email arrived, when the meeting ended, when the title was reassigned, when the paycheck dipped, when the project was canceled. I did not step back to watch. I stepped in to shepherd. I guarded you from deals that would have owned you, from alliances that would have diluted you, from timelines that would have crushed you. I did not come to make you smaller. I came to make your life truthful. As it is written, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Truthful lives breathe freely. Therefore, do this in practice. When a door closes, return immediately to me and to peace. Place your hand over your heart and say, I abide. Prune what you will, plant what you want. Then, for a set time, days or weeks as I lead, do not grasp at replacements. Let me show you the shape of the room I am making. If I highlight a humble assignment, take it with joy. If I bid you rest, do not resist. If I direct you to retrain, to study, to apprentice in quiet places, go gladly. Remember Joseph's stewardship in prison, Moses' patience in Midian, Esther's strategy in the palace. Preparation is not punishment, it is precision. And when the next door opens, and it will in my time, walk through it as one who is led, not driven. Walk with the holy fence intact, with peace at the gate, with prayer as counsel. Do not rebuild the treadmill in the new room. Do not invite back the chains I removed. Let your boundaries travel with you. Let your yes remain measured by my voice. Let your no remain guarded by my peace. I am not hurrying you. I am establishing you. Hear my benediction over this pruning. You are not being reduced. You are being refined. You are not being discarded. You are being replanted. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Some doors closing are not loss. They are mercy making room for life. Abide in me, beloved child, and watch how the life in you rises. Steadier, cleaner, freer. I am the gardener who loves you. My shears are kind. My peace will keep watch. Walk forward with a guarded heart and a holy fence, for I am with you, and I am leading you into work that will no longer cost you your soul. Beloved child, lean close and listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. We have unlearned the panic that calls itself purpose, and we have called pruning mercy. Now I am bringing your inner healing into visible structure. Your peace will not survive on intention alone. It must be protected by structure. As it is written, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Psalm 90:12. I am teaching you to number your days, not to count them in anxiety, but to consecrate them in wisdom, to treat hours as holy trusts and minutes as seeds you plant with me. You belong to me, therefore your time belongs to me. We will make a covenant together, a holy fence around hours, attention, and energy, so that what I planted in you can breathe and bear fruit that remains. First, hear how I define this covenant. It is worship in the calendar, love made visible in your boundaries, trust translated into rhythms. A covenant with your time says, my day begins with God and returns to God, and then arranges itself accordingly. It says, peace stands at the gate of my appointments, and then allows peace to approve or delay. It says, my yes is clean and my no is clean, because both flow from assignment, not from fear. As it is written, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. That peace is the guard I have placed at the gate of your heart. Now let that guard stand watch over your schedule. I give you a holy fence plan in 3 rails, so your practice can match your revelation. The first rail is this: stop absorbing what is not yours. I do not ask you to carry ambient guilt through your day as if it were intercession. I do not ask you to drink the emotional chaos of every room as if it were compassion. Compassion serves. Absorption drowns. Therefore, beloved, when a colleague's storm presses against you, do not become the sponge that swells and grows heavy. Become the well that draws from me and pours what I give, no more and no less. In practice, set patterns that keep your interior clean. Begin conversations with a silent prayer. Lord, what is mine here? End them with a release. I return every burden to you and to the one who owns it. Do not keep emergency channels open for non-emergencies. Assign response windows rather than living on call. Protect focus blocks like prayer rooms. No notifications, no scattered tabs. I am there to help you build. As it is written, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Diligence is not only internal. It looks like an answered email at the appointed time, not at every time. It looks like meetings that have purpose, not just presence. It looks like calendar space between commitments, so your soul can breathe and your thoughts can settle. The second rail is this: what to pray. Ask for wisdom, not just speed. Ask for courage, not just relief. Ask for favor that rightly orders relationships around your edges, not favor that breaks your fence to impress the crowd. As it is written, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given to him. James 1:5. Pray at the start of the day. Order my loves, order my steps. Place your hand upon my priorities. Make peace my witness. Set angels at my gate. Pray at the middle of the day when heat rises and emails multiply. Slow me to your pace. Highlight what matters most. Quiet alarms that are not yours. Pray at the end. Gather my scattered efforts into your keeping. Wash from me any residue that is not mine. Give sleep to your beloved. Psalm 127, verse 2. Pray also this specific guard over your assignments. Grant me courage to say the holy no, where scope creeps beyond what you measured. Grant me favor that my boundaries be received with respect. Grant me a clear word when I must define limits. As it is written of Joshua and the Gibeonites, but they did not ask counsel of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. You will ask. In every significant yes, pause to seek counsel. Your minutes are precious. Your energy is finite. Your assignment is holy. The third rail is this: what to refuse with peace. Refuse scope creep that quietly adds bricks to your load until prayer becomes a luxury and rest becomes a rumor. Refuse timelines that require you to betray what I have set as Sabbath. Refuse disrespect that treats your humanity as a machine and your soul as fuel. Refuse the tyranny of urgency when urgency is only poor planning dressed as demand. Say with Nehemiah, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Nehemiah 6:3. Not because you are too important, but because your obedience requires focus. In practice, this means you ask for clear deliverables before you agree. You place milestones rather than wide-open promises. You negotiate start dates that honor your existing commitments. You decline meetings that have no agenda. You end calls that cross into contempt with a calm boundary and a blessing for a better time. You will not answer the midnight text that can wait for morning. You will not reopen your computer after Sabbath begins. You will not justify your no with essays. Peace will do the speaking. Now I will give you rhythms that hold this fence in place, because love without pattern dissolves under pressure. Begin with a clean start. Before you open the world, open to me. As it is written of my son, rising very early in the morning, while it was still dark, he departed, and there he prayed. Mark 1:35. 5 minutes or 50, the measure is not the point. The order is. Place your hand over your heart and say, clean start. Read a portion of my word. Offer me the calendar. Ask me to number your day in wisdom. Then set your first block of work as an offering, not a scramble. One task, one focus, peace at the gate. Practice the clean yes When a request comes, do not let flattery rush you or fear corner you. Ask, does peace open the gate? Does this serve my assignment? Does this timing honor my covenant? If yes, say yes simply and set structure around it. Scope, timeline, review point. Clean yes is bright and bounded. Practice the clean no. Decline with peace and without apology for existing. Say, this doesn't fit my current focus, or I'm unable to take this on within the timeline, and bless the person with clarity. Clean no is brief and kind. Then end with a clean end. 10 minutes before you finish, close your loops. Mark progress, schedule the next step, send the needed note, and then hand the whole day back to me. Say, clean end. As it is written, in peace I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. Let evening become sanctuary, not spillover. You are not a leaking vessel. I am teaching you to seal your day in peace. Adopt a Sabbath mindset, the crown of your week. Sabbath is not a reward you earn by exhaustion. It is a gift you protect by obedience. As it is written, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Exodus 28. Choose 24 consecutive hours that become a fence around your soul. Prepare for it. Finish tasks. Inform your people. Quiet your devices. Set your table with rest. On that day, cease from producing and let yourself be produced by my love. Walk, laugh, worship, sleep, feast, be silent, be simple. Let your inner motor unwind until it purrs rather than growls. Your week will gather strength here. Your creativity will recover here. Your discernment will sharpen here. Create short pauses that return you to me throughout the day. You do not need an hour to reset. Sometimes you need 60 seconds of honesty. 3 breaths. A whispered peace, guard the gate. A glance at a verse posted near your desk. A hand over your heart with what is mine. These are not interruptions, they are recalibrations. As it is written, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Train your body and mind to consent to stillness in small portions, so that stillness is available when storms rise. Once a week, meet with me for a review where peace is the metric. Not just productivity, not just checked boxes. Peace. Ask, where did peace guard me well? Where did I overrun the gate? Which activities yielded fruit that remains? Clarity, love, steadiness. Which drained with little return because I absorbed what was not mine? Adjust accordingly. Prune a meeting that consistently corrupts your spirit. Expand a block that regularly produces true progress. If you cannot see your values on your calendar, they are not yet values, they are wishes. Bring your calendar into alignment with your covenant. Let it tell the truth. Preserve margin as obedience, not as luxury. Do not harvest your field to the edges. Leave gleanings for the poor and for your own soul. As it is written, you shall not reap your field right up to its edge. You shall leave them for the poor and for the sojourner. Leviticus 19:9-10. In your time, that means you schedule 80% capacity, not 110%. You leave buffers between commitments, space for the unplanned assignment I will send, space for compassion that is truly yours. Margin is where miracles land. Hurry is where they miss you. Shape your communication as light, not heat. Decide your response windows. State your boundaries in advance. Write templates that carry clarity and kindness. Bless departures rather than arguing them. Invite feedback at appointed times rather than through constant interruption. You are forming a culture around your life, a small liturgy of time that teaches others how to meet you. Lead that culture with patience and firmness. You are not punishing anyone by having limits. You are protecting what I entrusted. Now, beloved, make the vow with me. Your hours are not an open field for every traveler. They are a garden with a holy fence. Place this sentence over your door. Clean start. Clean yes. Clean no. Clean end. Let it become refrain, a bell that calls you back. And when you falter, and you will sometimes falter, I do not condemn you. Return to the covenant. As it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, this is the way, walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. I will coach you, correct you, comfort you. I am patient and I am persistent. Walk now as one who numbers days with me. Walk as one led, not driven. Build the holy fence around your hours, attention, and energy, and watch how peace, once scattered, gathers and stands guard. Your work will become brighter because it is truer. Your rest will become deeper because it is chosen. Your courage will rise because you no longer negotiate your soul for the sake of speed. I am with you in the planning, in the pauses, in the brave refusals, and the joyful yeses. Make a covenant with your time, beloved child. I will bless it, I will keep it, and I will cause your life to breathe freely within it. Beloved child, lean close and listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. You have built a holy fence around your hours. Now I will set a lamp inside your mouth. I am teaching you to be firm and clean. Light in your mouth, peace in your chest. You do not have to answer every message immediately. Speed is not the sign of maturity, and hurry has never been the fruit of my spirit. As it is written, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt. Colossians 4:6. Grace slows the tongue to wisdom's pace. Salt preserves the truth without burning the tongue that carries it. Hear me. Heat seeks to win, but light seeks to reveal. Heat is a contest of egos. Light is a service to truth. Heat shouts to overpower. Light speaks so that all can see. Therefore, when pressure knocks and accusations rise and timelines swell beyond what anyone can carry, do not ignite, illuminate. Ask questions that invite clarity. Offer options that tether desire to reality. Name scope, name limits, name next steps, without flames, without fumes. As it is written, be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. James 1:19. Quick to hear means you give room for the facts to arrive. Slow to speak means you let peace stand at the gate. Slow to anger means you let me hold your center while you choose words that carry light. You will practice pacing as an act of courage. You will not be dragged by alarms, you will be led by assignment. When messages arrive with flashing urgency, you will let your response windows hold. You will say, received, reviewing within my standard response time. I will return with clarity by 3 p.m. This is not avoidance, this is stewardship. When a meeting heats your chest and fogs your mind, you will ask for a pause. Let's take 5 minutes and return with a cool head, or I'd like to summarize what I'm hearing and send next steps by end of day. Your pause is not a retreat, it is a holy hinge. As it is written, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Proverbs 15:1. Soft is not weak, it is skillful. It turns, it redirects, it opens a window where there was only smoke. I will also give you phrases that fit your fence and keep your spirit clean. Speak them without apology and without heat. I can do A by Friday or B by Wednesday. Tell me which you prefer. Choice brings light into chaos. That's outside my scope. Who owns that? Ownership returns burdens to their rightful carriers. I'm unavailable after 6 p.m. Let's schedule for tomorrow during work hours. Time is a garden. You are guarding it. For clarity, here is my understanding of the priorities. 1, 2, 3. Please confirm or correct. Clarity is light. Request it. Before I can agree, I need the deliverables and timeline in writing. Documentation is not distrust, it is stewardship. I'm not able to continue this conversation while contempt is present. I am available when we can speak with respect. Dignity is a boundary you keep for both of you. I will copy the relevant stakeholders to align on priorities. Alignment prevents martyrdom. I'm at capacity within my current commitments. If this is higher priority, which existing item should shift? Trade-offs are the truth grown-ups honor. These are not shields you wield against people. They are lights you carry for the work. They protect love by preserving order. They honor authority by naming reality. They honor me by refusing to buy peace with your soul. Do not martyr yourself in silence. Escalation with peace is obedience. Document what is asked of you. Send the summary. Invite confirmation. When loads multiply beyond measure, ask, please confirm the top priority and the acceptable delay for the others. If blame hunts for a host, answer with light. Here are the decisions made, the dates agreed, and the impacts of the change. Invite the room to choose like adults, rather than panic like children. If disrespect persists, take the conversation to the proper covering, manager, HR, pastoral counsel, with calm records, not heated rants. As it is written, by wise counsel wage war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. Proverbs 24:6. Conflict handled in light becomes a pathway to justice. Conflict handled in heat becomes a wildfire that devours good work. Remember Nehemiah, who refused the bait of distraction with clean words. I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Nehemiah 6:3. He did not shout insults at his accusers. He said a sentence like a fence and returned to the wall. Remember my son before Pilate. He answered with brevity, with truth, sometimes with silence. He did not waste his breath to prove himself to those committed to blindness. Matthew 27:11-14. Light does not perform. Light reveals. Remember Paul, who appealed to Caesar when the room could no longer hold justice, not from panic but from principle. Acts 25:11. There is a time to remain, a time to pause, and a time to escalate. Wisdom discerns them, and peace confirms them. Therefore, beloved, measure your words by fruit. Before you speak, ask, will this brighten the path or merely heat the air? Will this preserve dignity for all, including me? Will this invite clarity and shared ownership? If peace is absent from your chest, do not speak yet. Breathe, pray, guard my mouth, set a watch at the gate. Give me language that serves the work and protects the soul. As it is written, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Psalm 141:3. You are not delaying truth, you are preparing its delivery so that it can land. Practice the posture of light in meetings. Sit with an open chest and grounded feet. Keep your voice steady. Make your points in numbered clarity. End with agreed next steps. If interruption swarms, you will say, one moment, I'll finish this thought, then I'm glad to hear your view. You will not compete with chaos. You will refuse it. If rumors or triangulation attempt to recruit you, you will answer, let's bring them into the conversation so we can resolve this together. Or, I don't participate in side commentary. I prefer direct solution. Heat seeks allies to fuel a fire. Light seeks witnesses to anchor the truth. And when you fail, and sometimes you will flare or flood, I do not condemn you. Return to peace. Repair with light. Say, I spoke in heat. Here is my corrected statement. Or, I allowed pressure to rush me. Here is the clarified scope. Humility disarms conflict faster than brilliance. As it is written, speaking the truth in love, we grow up in all things. Ephesians 4:15. Growth is the mark of my hand, not perfection in a day, but a cleaner mouth with each week, a steadier chest with each test. I bless your courage to speak this way. I place my hand upon your throat to steady tone, upon your chest to anchor breath, upon your mind to order thought. You are not at the mercy of other people's panic. You are not a weather vane for their storms. Peace is still the guard at your gate. Let peace approve your words. Walk into every room with this benediction in your mouth. I will speak with light, not heat. I will be firm and clean. I will carry peace in my chest. And as you do, watch how conflicts become classrooms, how pressure becomes clarity, how relationships mature around the culture you keep. As it is written, let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may give grace to the hearers. Ephesians 4:29. Your mouth will be a lamp, your pace will be prayer, your boundaries will be blessed. Go, beloved child, and answer not as one driven, but as one led. Speak with light. Keep your spirit. I am with you. Beloved child, lean close and listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. We have walked through hidden motives and open doors, through pruning and pattern, through the holy fence around your time and the clean light in your mouth. Hear me now with relief. I do not condemn you for the ways you coped when you did not yet know these things. You survived storms by instincts you learned in scarcity. I am not here to shame the sailor who bailed water in the dark. I am here to give you a lamp beneath your feet and a guard at your gate, so that you do not sail forever on adrenaline when I have prepared for you a guided course and a faithful wind. You are being trained for peace-led obedience and long endurance without spiritual erosion. You will not have to buy purpose with your health. You will not have to purchase belonging with your boundaries. Therefore, receive this as your future posture when pressure returns, because pressure will return, but you will not be the same. Pause. You are not rude to time when you slow for truth. You are reverent. Test the voice behind the demand. Ask, is this voice drawing me into clarity, purity, and love, or is it rushing me into confusion and contempt? Consult me. Do not treat prayer as the afterword to decisions made in fear. Ask counsel of the Lord before you answer. Listen for peace. Let it stand as the guard at the gate. Then answer with a clean yes that is bright and bounded, or a peaceful no that is brief and kind. This is not hesitation. This is holiness. As it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, this is the way, walk in it, when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. Isaiah 30:21. I will speak. My guidance is not a riddle for the frantic. It is a lamp for the willing. I bless your future, and I lift the weight of imagined consequences that has kept you bowing to false urgency. You will not be stranded because you chose health. I will meet you inside your boundaries, not punish you for keeping them. I will open the right doors, ones that fit your assignment and your pace, doors that do not require you to become someone else to pass through. I will provide the right allies, those who respect clean yeses and clean nos, those who do not need your exhaustion to affirm their importance. I will give you wisdom that is pure and peaceable, gentle and willing to yield where yielding is righteous, unwavering where truth must stand. As it is written, the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits. James 3:17. You will not walk alone into boardrooms or email threads or planning tables. I go before you to prepare favor, and I go behind you to protect the peace you have gained. Remember how I have trained you to keep a holy fence around your hours, to let peace approve your calendar, to refuse to absorb what is not yours, to prune without calling it punishment, to speak with light and not with heat. These are not techniques to impress the room. They are a way of being with me. They are your liturgy of labor. Clean start, clean yes, clean no, clean end. Your daily offering that keeps the altar of your heart uncluttered. When these rhythms hold, storms will still happen, but you will be found anchored, not adrift. You will answer, not react. You will be led, not driven. Beloved, there will be days when you feel the old pull, the whisper that says, only this once break your Sabbath, only this time swallow the disrespect, only for now carry what isn't yours. In those moments, do not negotiate with the whisper. Return to the witness. Place your hand over your heart and ask, peace, where are you? If peace is outside, do not enter. If peace is at the gate, proceed with courage. As it is written, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds. Philippians 4:7. Let that peace do its appointed work. You are not unkind when you refuse to outrun it. You are obedient. And when truth cuts through fog and reveals what you could not see before, do not fear it. Truth will not shame you. Truth will free you. As it is written, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. John 8:32. Freedom may feel strange at first when you have lived long years in crowded calendars and crowded consciences, but you will learn the sound of spaciousness, the taste of unhurried joy, the strength of a yes that did not cost your soul. I am with you in the smallest places where courage is practiced. I am with you at your desk when you choose to open Scripture before the inbox. I am with you in the meeting when you say, I can do A by Friday or B by Wednesday. Tell me which you prefer. And you feel shame try to rise like a tide, and you let it pass without swallowing. I am with you in the email that requires you to name scope with dignity and to invite alignment without flattery. I am with you when you shut your computer for Sabbath, while loose ends tug at your sleeve like insistent children, and you entrust them to me. I am with you when you wash the residue of the day from your chest with a prayer and when you sleep as one who is kept. Do not imagine that being led means life will never challenge you. Being led means challenge will not consume you. As it is written, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Isaiah 43:2. I keep what is mine, and you are mine. Your life is not at the mercy of shifting targets or unstable tempers. Your life is set inside my keeping. I know the way through this terrain. I am not improvising your future. The path I mark for you will be bright enough for the next step and near enough for your present strength. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. A lamp for your feet, enough for now, a light for your path, direction for where we are going. So receive my benediction. Walk forward with a holy fence and a guarded peace. Walk as one who believes that love can be tender and boundaries can be holy, that work can be excellent and rest can be protected, that courage can be calm and speech can be clean. Walk as one trained to pause, to test, to consult, to listen, and then to answer with integrity. When you stumble, return quickly. When you are unsure, ask counsel. When you are afraid, remember that fear is not your shepherd. As it is written, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. I am forming in you that sound mind. Go now, beloved child, not as one driven by work, but as one led by me. Let peace remain the guard at your gate. Let truth be the light in your mouth. Let structure keep what prayer begins. Your assignment is holy. Your burnout is not required. I am with you at your desk, in the meeting, in the email, in the decision. You will not be consumed. You will not be stranded. You will be led. I am your lamp beneath your feet and your light upon the path, and I will keep you. Walk in peace, walk in freedom, Walk in the steady courage of one who knows they are being led.